I got WrestleMania here in a few hours. Let's do this. Let's see here. All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your good old boy JR, coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. As always, I have my good friend here, Brandon, who's on this crazy journey with me called the 2023 NFL Draft. Today, we are going to be talking about the Tennessee Titans. The Titans, man, the team that had no competition ended up winning the division at all. Nobody saw that coming. It's just like, who do the Jaguars have that can outplay the Titans? And sure enough, it's just what it was. But, it's just the Titans, man. I don't know what else to say other than it's rebuild time in Tennessee, man. I mean, you can look at all the moves they're doing. There's nothing here that tells me, yeah, man, it is it is rebuild time in Tennessee, and there's nothing for me to believe that this is not. I don't care what Mike Vrabel says. As much as I respect the guy, it's a rebuild. You're rebuilding, and that's okay. And that's okay. That's okay. Now, did I appreciate? Did I think some of the choices of rebuilding was a good start? Not all of them. I was very shocked at the Taylor Lewan. I was shocked at I was shocked at Ben Jones being released. Um, it's just if we're gonna go in a different route, he has to hit it. He has to hit this draft. So, Brandon, in one words, man, I mean, describe it to me. If you were to describe the 2022 seasons for the Tennessee Titans, you would say what?
Missed opportunities.
Yeah, man.
I just feel like you drafted Malik Willis and you gave him nothing. You trust Ryan Tannehill, kinda. Like, like kinda. You trust Ryan Tannehill, kinda. And once Derrick Henry went down, it was kind of like, yeah, this is not going to end well. Like, it just everything that was not supposed to happen for Tennessee. It's kind of like what we talked about yesterday for the Saints. Everything that could have went wrong, and it just feels like it just went wrong. It just everything went wrong. We both said it is Tennessee's division to win, and it just never materialized. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Maybe the injuries to the O line kind of kicked in at some point. Derrick Henry being out, Ryan Tannehill being up and down for most of the year. I mean, that's kind of a Ryan Tannehill thing. But also with his injuries, he just could never get right. Defensively, they play as well as they could, but again, it's only so much a defense can do before they just get tired and can't catch up. It was just bad. I mean, I saw games where Tennessee just looked like they didn't know what the hell they were doing. It seemed bad. I mean, it was a Colts game where they were blessed by Matt Ryan for throwing like 2 picks back to back, and they ran one in for a touchdown. I was just like, they had that type of luck that last year. Just a lot of the games that they played in just never materialized. And at the end of the season, you saw them go to Jacksonville and just couldn't put it together. They couldn't put it together against Jacksonville, of all teams in Jacksonville. I don't know what it is about teams going to Jacksonville late in the season when the playoffs are on the line. They can't get shit done. I don't know what's going on with that. So I have no idea what's going on with that.
I don't remember. It's the same thing with the Colts. It seems like the Colts. I don't even remember the last time the Colts beat Jacksonville in Like, when was that? When was the last time that happened? I don't even remember.
Peyton Manning? Andrew Luck, maybe?
I don't know. It's been a minute. And I think the problem with the Titans, honestly, I think what it is now is just they did get old. They did get old really, really quick. And now, do I agree with the whole Taylor Lewan, Ben Jones releasing? Not really, because you would have thought maybe keep them around to get continuity. I understand that, the age was a little bit of a factor, but they still had some football left. Now, the crazy thing about it is they're still in free agents. They're still free agents. Now, Taylor Lewan,
Taylor Lewan is still a free agent. Thought Ben Jones got picked up.
I think so. I think he did. But Taylor Lewan, to me, being a free agent is still like, whoa, like that's and I don't know, maybe he is telling teams that, hey, maybe he is stepping away from football. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, but it was like I said, it was very weird. It was very tough to see that because it's like, dude, he was the Titans for a while. Like, I get it. Derrick Henry is the man, but it's like, dude, Taylor Lewan is just as deserving as that than Derrick Henry is. And now it's like it's a real start. You got to start, man. And we'll get to it. I mean, like I said, the Titans 7-10. It is what it is. That's second best in that division. That tells you everything you need to know about that division. 7-10. You're the second best team in it. And you're picking 11. You're picking 11. There it is.
I mean,
28th.
we just literally had 3 NFC South teams, just like back to back to back. So, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Again, 28th on offense, 14th on defense. It's just the defense was not the issue, but this is where I'm starting to see. I'm not going to say if there's cracks within the organization, but I'm starting to see like some of the decisions that they're about to make is probably going to haunt Tennessee for a while, and we'll get to that. Ryan Tannehill, again, leading the team in passing. Really nothing too brashy to brag about. 2,500 passing yards, 13 TDs, 6 interceptions. Derrick Henry, being Derrick Henry, again, 1,538 rushing yards, 13 touchdowns, to go along with 33 receptions and 398 receiving yards to bring him a grand total of 1,936. Scrimmage. There's a reason he's running back 1, folks. He's the man. He's the man. And Robert Woods came and went, basically. Robert Woods came and went. And now he's with the Texans, but he did lead the team with 53 receptions, 527 yards, 2 TDs. So all in all, what does this tell you? Offensively, Derrick Henry and 10 other Yahoos. 10 other Jags, basically. 10 just regular ass dudes, man. Just that's it. That's it. And I think this is where I'm starting to get worried for Tennessee. I hope they figure out something offensively because riding on the coattails of Derrick Henry does not look like an option anymore.
Yeah.
And anybody that says out there, well, this isn't a rebuild, this is going to be a reload, really? Then tell me this. Why were you guys trying to trade your only offensive weapon that you had? Or was I just reading things? Was Derrick Henry not in the trade block conversation? Because hell, Miami almost pulled off a trade with Minnesota to get Dalvin Cook. Now that would have been unfair, by the way. That would have sucked. But I'm just saying. For me, I'm starting to see maybe some panic in that organization, or am I just reading too much into this, Brandon? What do you think? Because I'm starting to see some panic within this organization.
I think for some apparent reason, I don't know why, but for some apparent reason, they think that blowing up the team is going to help them become young, and that shit don't happen like that. Like it doesn't happen like that. That doesn't happen. I feel like a lot of those teams right now are that way. I think a lot of people, especially in the AFC South, because we've talked about this, Jacksonville is the closest thing to maybe fix team wise. Coach have to figure out their defense and offense. They have to draft a quarterback. Maybe they go get Lamar Jackson. Maybe Trey Lance somehow ends up in a trade conversation, and then they go get him. I don't freaking know. But all in all, and Houston is clearly in a rebuild. That is clearly a rebuild. You have literally, 2 teams in your division that's literally starting new head coaches again. And you have one team that a lot of people are like, okay, you got to the playoffs, but can you do this shit again? So it's just like, I guess in their mind is like, let's blow it up and get younger. The problem with that is if you don't draft right and you don't believe in the players you already have, it's only so little you can do with the team you have right now. And I think blowing it up, like I said, maybe Tyler Lewan, if you wanted to release Tyler Lewan, okay, do your thing. I don't care. But letting Ben Jones and Tyler Lewan go, that's a difference. Because I don't know. And I think Tyler Lewan maybe is saying he's done. And if that is the case, then let him go. I think that's kind of the thing. Like you can't keep somebody that doesn't want to play football anymore. That's like Joe Thomas saying, I'm done with the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are like, we're going to keep you on the roster. Like, what the fuck sense does that make? He's retired. Like, why are you there? And I feel like that is kind of the thing. I don't know what Tennessee is going to really be when it's all said and done. But I know one thing. They are messing up. I think what they messed up the most is like not pulling the trigger on putting Malik Willis as a starting quarterback as soon as they started having problems with Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Like, you got to pull a trigger on this kid. Now, he's a rookie. I get it. You only spent your 3rd-round pick on him. That's cool, whatever. But you got to at least see what this kid can be with a Derrick Henry healthy and a Treylon Burks when he came back healthy. You got to at least see what this team could look like with him. And instead, you didn't do that. And I feel like that's kind of where you really screwed up because you trust in a Ryan Tannehill that we all know, let's be nice and say mediocre at best.
Oh, 100%. That's not even a question at this point. I think with the whole Ryan Tannehill situation, for me personally, I don't think it's even a matter of fact of what's going to happen or what are they going to do. What is the plan basically for Ryan Tannehill? I think Tennessee's just eating it up at this point to where that's going to be their guy until, well, further notice. Honestly, until further notice, and I think that's really the shameful part is that it's going to be until further notice. Now, defensively, this is where I find it interesting. It seems nobody defensively wants to be there right now. Nobody. They're asking Kevin Byard, I should say, a respectable safety, a former Pro Bowl safety.
Incredible safety.
They're telling him, hey, man, we need you to take a pay cut. But yet, I'm the one that's leading the team in tackles and interceptions, and you're asking me to take a pay cut. Nah, I ain't taking this pay cut, man. I'm glad he stuck to his guns because it's like, dude, without me, you have nobody in the secondary. You have nobody. So,
I mean, you have Farley, but how much?
You have one healthy, but at the same, but we're talking about like presence on the secondary. You ain't got nobody else. Like, I am your man. So either you figure it out, or you can let me go. That's fine. But just know, like, that's what you're up against. That's what you're up against. So just trying to fix something real quick. Hold on. Sorry about that. Now, as far as Nico Autry and all those guys, and like I said, Nico Autry led the team in sacks with 8. Jeffrey Simmons is there at 7.5. But there's rumors of him getting on the trade block as well because he's unhappy in Tennessee. So something's going on in Tennessee where the cracks are starting to show. The cracks are starting to show a little bit, and it's a little disappointing to say the least. Now, off-season wise, they're doing everything they can. I mean, Sean Murphy-Bunting from Tampa, great. Arden Key, former Jaguar, now Tyan, okay. Al Shahir, fine. Luke Gifford, okay. And then really what you did, Andre Dillard and Daniel Brunskill. For the fans out there believing that the Titans are not rebuilding are pretty delusional at this point. And there's no other way to put it. It's a rebuild. It's a rebuild. You're asking your top performer in the secondary level to take a pay cut. Jeffrey Simmons does not look happy.
Who's pretty much the best defensive lineman.
Yeah.
The best defensive lineman. I mean, oh my God, yeah. That's bad.
Like, nobody is like, right now, there's something going on with Tennessee where I'm starting to really believe that maybe, in a way, Mike Vrabel is maybe not losing the locker room, but he's going to have to start thinking about the future. And if he is, he's, hey, I get it. You want to get Cap back. You want to get this. But you're asking the wrong players to take this hit. You're asking the wrong teammates to take this hit.
Question. Is it Mike Vrabel or is it the general manager?
It could be hand in hand. It could be both.
Because Mike Vrabel is a defensive guy. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's a defensive guy. So I know he's not going up to these guys and saying, hey, we're gonna get to the point where we need you to like scale your money back. He's a linebacker at heart. That's what he does. That's what he's always been. He's the first thing Tennessee did when they finally got him was got really good on defense, really fast. Because of how learning from Bill Belichick, not just as a player, but as a coach. He learned a lot. And I feel like for me, I don't think he's particularly going up to these guys and telling them, hey, take a pay cut. That might be more general manager situational wise, because offensively, what the hell have you done? like if I take a pay cut, who we bringing in? Because I need to know why I'm giving you my money.
And that's the thing. I think me personally, I think it goes hand in hand into where I don't know if the general manager is trying to make a point. I don't know if Mike Vrabel's trying to make a point, but their moves this year, it's kind of concerning to me knowing the fact that I'm not saying that they're giving up, but they're showing the signs of, hey, we pretty much did all we could, and the best we could do was an AFC Championship game appearance.
You know what it started to feel like? Started to feel like Tennessee in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. Started to feel like that team where you knew
they were really high. Like
yeah.
They were
at least they got to the Super Bowl, but we all knew it was something about them. Like, yeah, Eddie George and yeah, Steve McNair, and they had some things, but it just felt like something's off. It's starting to feel like that. It's starting to feel like that. Like outside, they got the defense, but the offense, it seems like you got Derrick Henry, but you ain't got no quarterback. It's like, what the hell is this? What is this? What is this team? And that's the thing. Like, I don't know what Tennessee is. This is a pick that you kind of like, I don't know what they need because we say that a lot. They need a lot of things, but for the first time, this is kind of what I do feel like. They kind of do need a lot of fucking things. Like, they actually need everything. Like, because do you draft another quarterback? Do you try and see what's going on?
And then I think this is where I think that for me, the interesting part for Tennessee, I wouldn't be surprised if they are talking to Arizona to go from 11-3. Now for Arizona, that's the same amount, and people are going to say, "Well, that's a pretty big jump." I'm like, "Well,
no, it's not. No, it's not."
But Chicago went from 1-8, or what was it, 1-9? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
and it's the same amount of spots. The only difference is that Chicago has their quarterback,
and that's
Tennessee. I think either has to make the decision. We either have to roll with Ryan Tannehill one more time, or we have to literally give Malik Willis a shot. If not, then you go up to 3 and you get your guy.
And this is where I feel like last year would have been. It's kind of stupid to draft Malik Willis if you're not going to give him a chance. So if you are talking about trading up to 3, what the hell are you trading up to 3 to get? Because you're clearly going to get a quarterback. Nobody trades up.
It's quarterback. Yeah, you're taking the third best quarterback available at that point.
That's what I'm saying. Like, nobody jumps up that damn high to get a fucking linebacker. Like, that shit just don't happen. As great as Will Anderson is, we all know you ain't going to get Will Anderson at fucking 3. We know this. So if my draft board goes quarterback, you're going quarterback, and it's like, well, what the fuck you drafted Malik Willis for last year for then? If you clearly think this kid is not ready, then cut your ties with him. Let him go off and do his own thing.
Maybe, I mean, if Malik Willis is not your answer, then hey, give him to a team that, one, they will give you draft capital. Now, they're not going to give you the same draft round pick that you took them, but you'll get some capital back, and then maybe you could start building that way.
But I mean, and now the question becomes like, who do you? Because Ryan Tannehill's done. Nobody's going to trade and get Ryan Tannehill.
But no, Ryan Tannehill's going to be there for one more year.
Yeah, I guess so. But Malik Willis is kind of the piece, like, right? Like, you're like, who do you trade Malik Willis to? Maybe Washington if they don't get a quarterback. If somehow they're not in talks to get the third pick, which I think they are, because it's kind of weird that nobody's talking about Washington, who kind of needs a goddamn quarterback. That's weird. But Tennessee, the team that actually is, kind of stuck in the situation they're in, I don't get it. Ryan Tannehill, I don't know, man. This is such a weird thing. But Tennessee is, yeah. Anybody that's saying Tennessee shouldn't trade up to 3 is like, you could trade up to 3, but you got to get a true quarterback that you know that's going to be the guy. In this draft, as much as we've talked about quarterbacks, how many of you, outside of maybe Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, how many of you believe Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, the kid from Tennessee, how many of you really believe they're going to be the guy? And that is the thing. I don't know. Bryce Young, yeah, he could probably be it. If everything goes right, yeah. But that's every situation with quarterbacks. But I believe Bryce Young could actually turn a franchise around. CJ Stroud, the same. I actually believe they could turn franchises around. How many of them do you believe can turn a franchise around? I don't know that many.
I have 2 for sure.
That's what it's 2 for sure that we're like, yeah,
3 maybes, and 1 everything has to line up good
Perfectly.
enough to give them a shot. But that's a lot. You're asking for a lot at that point.
You asking for a lot, and that's what I'm saying. It's a lot to get. It would be a lot, and I don't think anybody has. I don't think Tennessee should.
Nobody has the patience. And now,
yeah.
I'm not saying that Tennessee should go up to 3. I'm just saying, is it a possibility that Tennessee can go up to 3? Yeah, because then they're thinking. But then again, that's what the conversation we're having is they have to admit that we messed up on Malik Willis, and we're gonna just cut our ties now and get our quarterback for the future. Make Ryan Tannehill, go 1 more year with Ryan Tannehill for better or worse, and then you keep building that team.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, this is what I feel about that. Malik Willis, you drafted him last year, 3rd round. So you're not really losing anything on it, technically. But what did you see in practice that you were just like Mike Zimmer with Colin Moore? Like, you were just like, nah, I've seen him in practice. I'm good. I don't need to see any. I don't need to see him more.
Kyle Mond, with Mond, it's like,
yeah, they Kellen Mond. Like, he was just like, yeah, I'm done. I don't need to see no more. I've seen him in practice. I know he can't do shit. Like, what did you see from Malik Willis? Because I'm gonna be honest. If he actually had receivers in that game against Kansas City, they probably win.
Oh, 100%.
They probably win. He did and that O-line was just incredibly bad that night. I've never seen Tennessee O-line that fucking bad. They probably win that game. So I don't know what has transpired to the point where you're just like, let's just cut our ties with everybody.
I find that to be a bunch of smoke too. But again, we are talking about the Tennessee Titans, who are in kind of like this rebuild phase. So I don't think it's much of a question of what happens at 11. Now, comparing to how everything plays out, should they stay at 11? Honestly, there has to be. They might as well try to see if you can get a team with multiple first-round picks and be like, hey, this guy fell to us. We really don't need him as much as we would want him. We kind of have too many holes to take this type of player right now. Do you have any draft? Do you have multiple picks that you're willing to give up to move up to number 11? And I could see that. I could definitely see that happening. So I don't know. With the Tennessee Titans, it's a lot for the Titans right now.
It kind of feels like Baltimore, right? It feels like if you're gonna trade Baltimore, right? Because you technically are rebuilding. Just trade Baltimore and see what happens. I mean, they're rumored to be in the Lamar Jackson sweepstakes. I don't know how much truth that is. Because if you get rid of Malik Willis, you're pretty much just saying we don't want that type of quarterback running our system.
Yeah.
So it's just like I don't understand that one. But it seems like Washington or like Baltimore, or maybe hey, Jets, you don't know when Aaron Rodgers is coming. You might as well trade and see what you can get. Like try to move. Like the Jets,
I mean, they whiffed on the car. They whiffed on Carr.
Yeah.
Now they're putting all their baskets in one egg for Aaron Rodgers. And here's the problem: if they don't get Aaron Rodgers, then they have to go back to Zach Wilson and be like, "Hey, man, I'm not your guy," or else you would have never talked to any of these 3. So I'm good.
Green Bay is. Can we just talk about the manipulation of Green Bay? This is beautiful. I've never seen a team just like, we got the goddamn player. We're not trading you shit. We're not trading him at all. We have no we have no purpose to trade him right now. What the hell are we getting back for it? Like they are like, nope. They're like, nope. We're good.
Yeah, no. Yeah, right now with Green Bay, they're just in their own world and they just have to figure it out. But with the Titans, they have to get something going because if they don't,
I don't know. I don't know.
because right now, what it really feels like with the Titans, it's either they got to hit this draft class right, or I'm sorry, within the next 2 to 3 years, Mike Vrabel might be out of the head coaching position,
2 or 3. I think this year.
and that would be the killer because
I think
I think he deserves enough to get at least a couple chances, a couple tries.
I feel like this. I feel like he deserves a chance to draft his quarterback.
Because he never got that chance. He never got.
We can say Malik Willis, but clearly they're trying to move off of him if they're supposedly going for the 3rd pick. So clearly he didn't draft him. He didn't want him. So if that is,
I think that was more of a luxury. I think that was more of a not
we're
a
good
luxury.
already. Yeah, we're good, but let's see what this kid can be if we put him in the system. And it's like, I don't like that. Like, I don't know, but like, if Tennessee's gonna do this, right? If Tennessee's gonna make a move to 3, they're clearly saying we're going for a quarterback.
What are you really gonna do at 3? What are you gonna do? So you wanted to move away from Malik Willis, and you're gonna take a Anthony Richardson,
And that sounds so stupid.
or you're gonna
move on Ryan Tannehill.
You're gonna go from Ryan Tannehill to go to a younger version of the same playing style of Ryan Tannehill. Just a better, bigger arm. Just a stronger, bigger arm.
Okay. Will Levy's. I'm sorry. He didn't mean to say it like that. He's a younger,
it's
sorrier.
Style,
like in my mind, I'm like, you want to go to a younger, more mediocre? Like he just
no, I'm not saying mediocre. I'm just saying you're going to go to the same style, but you're only going to get a bigger, stronger arm, Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, that's so funny. He was like, just another version of Ryan Tannehill.
So that's what I'm saying. The Tennessee Titans are like in a pickle now where it's like, dude, nobody wants to be here. And you're letting all the players that are not supposed to be letting go, you're letting go. So I don't know. To me, it's just going to be.
I don't know either.
It's going to be interesting to see how this Titans. I'm going to be shocked on how this Titans team is going to look like week 1. I'm very excited. I'm like going to be anxious to see what their opening day roster is going to look like week 1 because I have no idea. I don't know who's going to be there. By the time we're here, by the time we get to that point, Derrick Henry might not even be on the team anymore.
And that's what I'm thinking. I think Derrick Henry's going to go to them and say, "Can I get traded? Can you trade me?"
And that's where I'm at with this. So I don't know. With the Tennessee Titans, yeah, good luck, man. I don't know, but here we go. So Brandon, let's just see what we can pull out of the bag. Brandon, with the 11th pick, who do you got for Tennessee?
All right. With the 11th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans will select Peter Shalowski, offensive lineman, Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Clearly, they need a guard. They need a tackle. They need everything under the sun. They need a guard. They need a tackle. They need everything under the sun. They need everything under the sun. And I feel like right now for Tennessee, they got to go offensive line. Right?
Yeah.
It makes sense. Like you drafted.
It would make sense.
It makes sense, right? Like at least you know you got to build your offensive line back for Derrick Henry, whatever that means, if Derrick Henry's still there. But yeah, they got to build that offensive line back. Good God, do they need to build that offensive line back? Tyler Lewan walking is one thing, but Ben Jones also leaving you, it's another thing. I don't know how that was hard to watch. I don't know how much more Rodgers, the guard from the Rams. I don't know how long he's gonna be.
Roger Saffold. Yeah.
Roger Saffold. I don't know how long he's gonna be there. Like, I don't know how much more he's got in his tank. So it's just like you gotta go get somebody. And Peter Shalowski can play tackle or he can play guard. Just depends on what you need him to be. And I think that's something that the Tennessee Titans desperately need. They need versatility. They need a guy that can do guard or tackle. And that is something that Tennessee is sorely missing. So, yeah, I'm going Peter Shalowski, Northwestern.
1 second. Hold on. 1 second there. 1 second there. Whoops. Let's move you a little bit. Oh. So that a little bit. So how to do the quick work. Yeah, but no, Peter Skoronski from Northwestern. Man. Well, we did it again. We didn't pick the same player, but we're going with the same decision. It all starts with offensive line for me for Tennessee. I think that's what it really starts with. It really just starts with the Tennessee Titans offensive line. And that's why with my pick, I want offensive lineman too, but not him. I went Broderick Jones, the offensive tackle out of Georgia. Here's my thing. Yes, you got Daniel Brunskill. Yes, you got Andre Dillard, and that's a great restart, I guess, if you want to even call it that. But me personally, I think if you take Broderick Jones here at 11, you can kick Andre inside. You could tell Daniel to go to the right guard. Now you're really just kind of weak at two positions, literally. And, or you could tell Andre Dillard, hey, man, I'm going to kick you to the right tackle spot because Roger Sawford is still there. But, and then now what you're really missing is just a center, which I do believe the Tennessee Titans are probably going to go high on a center. They're probably going to go either the kid from Notre Dame, the kid from Minnesota, but that's going to be like second, third round centers. And I think for me, what it all starts with, like you said, it starts with the offensive line. I'm going to go with Broderick Jones here only because of the fact I think you need a true left tackle. And with Peter Skoronski, you're not really sure, can he play tackle? Is he a guard? Is it because of his arms? Is it because of this? Is it because of length? We don't know. And I don't think Peter Skoronski I don't think that would be in the best interest in him to go to a Tennessee Titans to where it's like, oh, we're just going to figure you out, but our team's going to be sucking along the way until we figure you out. And that's not the attention you want. So basically, it would behoove the Tennessee Titans to tell Andre Dillard, we brought you in, but we're gonna kick you to the right. Daniel, you're gonna go to the right guard as well. We will figure out our center. Saffold will be there for another year. Broderick Jones will be the left tackle, rookie left tackle, and at least your interior will be good for at least Ryan Tannehill. Now, what they do in the second round is beyond me. They want to go quarterback, fine. They want to go center, fine. It doesn't matter. But either way, something has to give for the Tennessee Titans, and that's why I'm going to go with Broderick Jones here, offensive tackle out of Georgia.
I had Broderick Jones going to Tennessee for like up until today. Oh, so we probably would have picked the same goddamn player. So I think like you said, he also comes from Georgia, which he comes from a very consistent offensively. We're gonna run the ball, protect the quarterback type of college. And going to Tennessee, you're clearly not going to be in a consistent offensive line made to protect something like a Ryan Tannehill type of guy. But hey, I just saw this man protect Stetson Bennett for like 2 years. I think he could protect Ryan Tannehill. I'm pretty sure he could probably protect Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, and I think really what it comes down to, the only way this offense is going to get better and yes, is there a conversation where they should go Quentin Johnson, Jordan Addison? Absolutely. They do need another wide receiver, but it's not going to do them any good if there's nobody to throw the ball to. The key for this offense is for Derrick Henry to keep going. So, yes, you're not going to get the same experience with the offensive line you had last year, but at least you're younger. You're going to be healthier. Well, to an extent. And then you'll also have depth on the offensive line, which is, I think, something that the Tennessee Titans did not have last year. So I think for us, what we agreed upon is the same thing. You just got to keep building that house for this team. And I think Broderick Jones, and I know Texas Underground is going to be pissed because he's like, man, it would have been nice to fall to 12. I just think Tennessee needs a little bit more help. So it is what it is.
I mean, they're all in the same boat, personally. But they're all in the same boat. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like I feel like Tennessee, their offense is Derrick Henry. That's it. Their offense is Derrick Henry. So yeah, you can go receiver. What reason? Because you have no real reason to go receiver.
Yeah.
No reason at all. I mean, you drafted Treylon Burks last year, first round. So clearly you know how this is going to look and you know how this offense is going to move. If Derrick Henry's healthy, keyword, if he's healthy, this offense goes as far as it can.
Yeah.
If he's hurt because of the O-line, now you're screwed.
Now you're done. But yeah, like I said, I think for me, I think it's just getting healthy on the offensive line, especially since you let Taylor Lewan and Ben Jones go. You have to rebuild that line. So, but that's going to be our picks today. Just to recap, Brandon has Peter Skoronski, the offensive lineman from Northwestern. I got Broderick Jones, the left tackle out of Georgia, the offensive lineman out of Georgia. Let us know in the comments what you guys think. We will be back tomorrow for the Houston Texans. Theirs is going to be a little bit different, though. We will try to have a guest on tomorrow for the Texans. But tomorrow we are going to be talking about the Browns. It's just we're going to be making the selection for the Texans. So until then, Brandon, as always, it is nice to see you, my man. Thank you, everybody, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.